You're with Budget Monk. What's up, lads? I wanted to make a video basically addressing some ins and outs in regards to religions and giving some people some insight and knowledge as to how you may make switching your religion through non-conventional means easier. Namely, a bit of an elaborate strategy as a Catholic. You will, in order to do this to the extent that we are in this game, you will have to be a Catholic, whether you started as one or were able to transition into one, in order to execute this strategy. But we currently started as a Catholic, and I was actually at the beginning of my most recent stream, I was a Catholic on this nation, but I have now, as you can see, we are a Protestant. However, I actually wish to be a Coptic nation for this run. And you can see there is quite a significant portion of Coptic land here. So originally, this area of the world is Coptic, but we have actually managed to basically spread it. So we're going to talk about some of the basics here. How is it that we were able to spread religion? Many of you, if you play this game, you may have found yourself in a situation where there are rebels, much like this, which have occupied provinces, and those provinces are converted to the rebels' religion. The way to actually avoid that is that number one, the province does not get occupied in the first place, or alternatively, that it is a fort, and therefore the occupation is stalled until the fort falls. And finally, the forts actually protect adjacent provinces, meaning that if this province had fallen to right now, let's say, Catholic rebels, it would remain Coptic because of the fort here. So what you want to do, basically, in other words, is turn the forts off. If you deliberately want to fall to rebels, you turn the forts off. Now, how is it that you would get rebels in the first place? Well, if we are Catholic, let's say, and our targeted religion is Coptic, we came out here, crusading out here, and we conquered Trebizond after the Ottomans, a nice little slender line. We conquered Trebizond and then conquered AQ and took some Coptic land. So Coptics are obviously heretics, meaning that having recently taken the province, different religion, well, there's obviously going to be unrest there. Now, if the unrest is not the rebel faction that you desire, aka Coptic zealots, then you can actually convert the rebel faction to Coptic zealots. So let's say, for example, like this guy, that it is Armenian, okay, in this case, well, you can increase the unrest by putting a missionary in the province, and that will actually convert the Armenian to Coptic, as long as the Armenian separatists have not progressed past 30%. As long as they are under 30% or lower, then it will change the rebel faction, assuming this was Armenian, to Coptic. Now, you will convert the province, right? Unless you turn your missionary maintenance down. So that is the method, is you basically put your missionaries in there for no other reason to religiously offend the region. And that will spawn the religious zealots. Then in this case, we had turned our forts off, and we had them walking around our country. You can actually provoke the rebel faction once it reaches 50% if you're at peace, so you don't need to wait until it goes all the way to actually spawning, and they walk around converting. And I recently only just took this land off of AQ, so you can see how much success we had prior to our most recent war. A lot of success with that approach, converting land to Coptic. Okay, so what's next? You accept the rebel demands, right? Well, if you look at the rebel demands, you can see that there is not what we desire, which is for them to enforce our religion on us. So the way that this is done is that the religion needs to be the largest and most dominant religion inside of your nation. If that is the case, where the religion is the largest and most dominant religion, then accepting the rebel demands will actually change to whichever rebels enforce that respective religion on your nation. AKA, you fall to rebels and get the result that you desire, because many nations cannot change religion, like Catholics in the beginning of the game, or when you can change religion, you only have these options, while you fall to rebels. So now that we've gotten the basics out of the way, now I'm going to talk about how you can transition somewhat easily. I've had a lot of success doing this in a huge elaborate game like this with a huge elaborate goal, where we've quite thoroughly strategized and thought out as to how and what exactly we want to do. How you can achieve that even at a relatively late game stage of the game, whether it's the late mid game or early late game, transitioning and making it as easy as possible, because obviously it's quite painful to change religion. Well, I have a really nice elaborate strategy which has worked really well in the past for us, and it does require that you are a Catholic. So you'll notice right now that we're not a Catholic, we're a Protestant. But prior to the beginning of my stream, I was a Catholic nation. If we go over here and look at economy charts, you can get a little bit of an indication as to how the religion looks with inside of your nation. We have Protestant provinces, obviously a lot of Catholic provinces, Orthodox and Sunni, respectively, and then we've got our Coptics here. So Coptics currently are actually the second largest, with our rebel shenanigans here, converting this land at 26.8%. Well, this is ever so slightly more than 25% of our country, right, is Coptic. Certainly not the dominance that we're looking for, especially if we were, which not too long ago we were, a very nice, stable Catholic nation. Then 26% is looking very small indeed. But the reason, having played this game, having completely and utterly destroyed the Protestant Reformation, and almost entirely wiped out Protestantism from the world, why is it that we have now switched to Protestant and converted this land? The reason why is because not too long ago, if you look at the Protestant provinces, these were all Catholic, of course. So Catholic was not 35%. It actually had the additional 18.5% here, being composed of all of this. So as a Catholic, we can freely switch over to Protestant. In fact, it does cost you 100 prestige, but as you convert things to Protestant, you get prestige back here based on development during this age, which is nice. But also we got a huge payout for switching to Protestant, which is cool. Now we have done that, we have sufficiently fractured the Catholics. As soon as we're allowed to, there's a 10-year window. You can see here in 95, we will actually switch to Reformed. And the plan is to actually convert, let's say, exactly 50%, ideally, of the Catholic land here to Reformed. And therefore, you can see how this line, creating another dissection here, basically taking the one whole dominant Catholic faith and fracturing it 3 ways, making it, divided by 3, smaller than our piece of the pie here, which is 26.8%. So actually making our nation become dominant faith Coptic via reducing the size of the old dominant religion. This is a really nice strategy. It's worked for me many times in the past, and I've actually have a lot of experience doing this now, and lo and behold, despite this not appearing as though it's that much land, we will actually make it the dominant religion inside of my nation via weakening the old dominant religion, Catholic. And that should, of course, change the demands here to enforce Coptic as our official faith, and then it will be a matter of now restoring religious unity among ourselves and also our subjects going on to the rest of the game, and we should have plenty of time to do that. Unfortunately, of course, you will have the recently converted modifier in many of these provinces, but that's the price you pay, and it's about just sorting the religious out and going into the future. So yeah, really hyped and looking forward to doing that in my current game, because it's been a long time since I played Coptic, and I'm looking forward to taking advantage of some of those bonuses like the 10 CCR. But I hope that gave you some insight, and I hope that that benefits you guys if you're willing or trying to switch religion yourself. And thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys live or see you guys on the next video.